All right, let's get to it here. You've been trying to avoid talking about the Big Ten for the last at least 7 minutes here. And you are Harry Big Ten, okay? So what do you have to say to defend your league, Robbie Hummel? What do you have?
Purdue's look good. I don't have a defense. I really don't. Michigan State, the loss to James Madison, they did some better things against Duke. They did some better things against Butler, but I'm not sold that Butler is going to have a great team this year still. I'm just surprised that with Tom Izzo's team, he's had to coach certain things like effort from like veteran guys, and some of the players have just been, I mean, the shooting is like inexplicable. Yeah. They got wide open shots against Duke for the most part. I think they generated good offense. They just really couldn't make a shot. I would say that we really can't have too many complaints about Illinois. I guess they were down at half to Valpo. Not good. But they losing to Marquette in a close one, there's really no shame in that. So I still have some faith with them. I still have faith in Michigan State. They can figure it out.
Who finishes third? Like, gun to your head, are you still in with Michigan State finishing second in the league right now?
Yeah, because everybody else has looked so bad.
By default.
So, yeah, I think so. Them or Illinois. After
so
that,
you have Illinois
if Michigan hadn't lost to Long Beach State in the manner they did, they would be a team that you could talk about positively. Doug McDaniel has played awesome for the most part this year. Iowa is a team that's flying under the radar. Who'd they lose to? They're 3-1.
Creighton.
Lost to Creighton, that's right. Wisconsin, really disappointing about the way they played at Providence. I like the way they played against Tennessee. I thought that Tennessee is really good. So I thought the way they played them, they had chances, just didn't convert. Had some shots at the rim that they didn't make late. Nebraska, honestly, has been a bright spot. They haven't played anybody yet. They just destroyed Oregon State Saturday. I will say that they are more physical. They're a better rebounding team this year. Ohio State, lots to learn with the Alabama game coming up. They're 3-1. Maryland has been awful. Northwestern had a tough loss today against Mississippi State. Rutgers lost to Princeton. Indiana has been so underwhelming on national television today against UConn. It blows my mind being from the state of Indiana and knowing that every person that grows up in that state is all about shooting. Yet Indiana never has anybody that can make a three-point shot. I am blown away. And it was with Archie Miller's teams. They didn't shoot well. And it continues on to Mike Woodson's teams today. I saw a quote from Danny Hurley, and I got to watch the first half, and then I had the Ohio State game tonight, so I went over to the arena. I saw where Danny Hurley had a quote that was like, it was all about packing the paint. Like, we just were like, make them shoot. Indiana is a poor rebounding team defensively. And I would say from a help defense standpoint, early I thought they were giving up threes again because they were so to the ball helping. They just are like with the nail philosophy that the NBA does. And I feel like they overhelp a lot. And UConn missed some open looks, but then the number I think was 7 of 22. So they didn't get burned as badly from three today. But offensively, they are hard to watch. I just think they've lacked an identity through the first couple games. And they did get the ball to Malik Renew today, and he was the bright spot. But I don't know. I just am like, they are trying to figure it out, but they are a long ways away. So
they don't move the ball around. They do not. They didn't have X. X got in a foul.
Yeah, the foul. And I honestly thought the whistle was not great for Indiana in the first. I thought there was a couple plays where Klingon should have picked up his second foul. Yeah, just hammered Khalil Ware on the arm once.
Yeah, and they called it on somebody else.
And there was another one that I thought they said he blocked his shot, but it looked like he just hit Ware's hand. I didn't think they got a great whistle, but that's not why they lost. UConn was clearly the better team.
Yeah, and UConn, listen, a little bit surprised UConn looked this good without Castle. They're probably most talented player, physically, their most talented player. Klingon was just okay. He wasn't great, but Caravan was awesome early, and Tristan Newton was great throughout.
But look at the way like Malik Renew, you've got Alex Caravan playing the 4. What does he want to do? He wants to shoot threes.
Yes.
He wants to pick and pop.
Yep.
And you know what was telling to me? I was watching Kenya Hunter, assistant coach, on the sideline in that first half because their defense was right in front of their bench.
Yeah.
Every wide open shot they were giving up, you could see that Kenya Hunter's like they were screwing things up. They're miscommunicating in their pick and roll coverage. They're doing things they didn't work on. They're giving up open shots, and a lot of them were to Caravan. And I think Indiana's done that for every game they played through the first 4 here.
They've been awful.
Breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. They've talked about how their young guys have got to be better. The CJ Guns and the Caleb Beck. They haven't. No, I know it's not, but they've expected improvement from those guys. Defensively, they're still not where they need to be. It's veteran guys too. I mean, they're veteran guys. With the shoot around I was on, Mike Woodson was really on Trey Galloway to communicate. And I think Trey is more of a quiet kid by nature. He's a good kid.
That's the problem, Rob. Rob, that is a little bit of the issue. Is I think Xavier Johnson isn't a natural leader.
They lost that. Trace Jackson Davis was the leader of that team.
Well, and you had other guys.
Ray Thompson and Chandler Chifino.
Yes.
Those guys are the leaders of the team. Mostly the 2 bigs.
Correct.
So
They've been there a while.
I don't know who their leader is. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I think they lack that.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know who the main voice is when things aren't going right in that team where they're getting people right. But I kept seeing Kenya Hunter reacting, and it's like they're definitely, and you could see it.
Yeah.
Just the miscommunications and some of the things they were screwing up defensively. That they're not on the same page defensively right now. That's for sure.
Hey, as good as Purdue is, and I saw them in person last week against Xavier, and they are really good. Those freshmen have gotten better as sophomores. Those guards clearly. Braden Smith was awesome in that game.
But I think their new freshmen and their transfer gives them a much higher ceiling.
Totally. The only thing I'll say, Rob, is what the hell is Painter gonna do at that 4 spot? Because honestly, Kaufman Wren didn't do anything that game. I think Painter's going to play like musical chairs.
I think it's whoever's got the hot hand and whatever.
But is that good? Is that the way you want to have it throughout the year? Or do you think it solidifies itself by middle of Big Ten play?
I mean, it could. If one guy is playing way better than the others, yeah. But I think it's matchup based, and I think it will rotate between Trey Kaufman Wren, Mason Gillis, and Caleb First. And maybe even Cam Heide if the matchup called for it from a defensive standpoint. I think about the Alabama game. When you've got a guard, Grant Nelson, and he's 7 foot tall and can handle a 3, and he's playing the 4, who do you go to? Who's the best option to guard? That will be interesting. But I just think that it's probably all matchup based, and it's going to be whoever's playing the best will play the 4.
So, Northwestern lost today to Mississippi State. Again, we've kind of gone through it for this league right now. And we've talked about it before, how important it is to win in November and December. They've done a pretty good job as a league of that over the years.
Yeah.
Yet they've
right now, KenPom, they have been the 4th best league, which I feel like they've either been 1st or 2nd every year for the last 3 or 4. And that's because of the work you do in November and December.
Right.
And there's still opportunities. I mean, Maui has not happened. The Bahamas have not happened.
Yep.
Atlanta, it's there's still some time, but this is a terrible start. This is a terrible start to just set the tone. I mean, I thought Wisconsin had chances against Tennessee. Ohio State had chances against Texas A&M.
Yep.
Purdue handled business against Xavier, but Xavier is an unranked team. Michigan beat St. John's. St. John's is not that good. What's the league's best win?
Maryland's the kill. No, they don't have a great win. That's the problem. Is you've got team like Nebraska that doesn't have bad losses, but where's the really good win right now?
Purdue, Xavier the best win?
Probably. I'm trying to think of who else has a better win so far.
Penn State's undefeated. Who they
Michigan
play.
beating St. John's. Maybe that'll be a good win. Maybe at the end.
But Xavier's better than St. John's right now, don't you feel like?
Yeah, because they're beating the crap right now out of St. Mary's. So you're probably right. But you're right. They may not have a win against a tournament team, a locked tournament team right now as a league.
But I mean, we're still at November 17th. Like, let's pump the brakes on that because there's another month. So I'm going to take out the Christmas break games where no one plays. Teams play good people right after finals, but there's like a week or a week and a half where there's bad games or no games. So there's a month remaining for the Big Ten to get better wins, but there's no sugarcoating this. This is a very, very bad start for the conference.